Hello everyone, welcome to Sarah Be Too Good. This is a community, a platform that I've created where men and women both can come together and learn how to be good, learn how to be too good to themselves. I was so nervous when I uploaded did the first video. I was so nervous, and I was still nervous about creating this video. My plans were to upload the video on Saturday, but I've had a lot of stuff on my phone that I had to have someone to help me make space on my phone. And even today, I was just like scared, like knowing that I need to do this, but just scared. And so today I was like, you know what? I'm gonna post a video regardless, And so again, I created this community. This is a space where both men and women can come and learn to be too good to themselves, which is why I created Sarah Be Too Good. And on today, if this video is for individuals who are at the end, who are ready to give up on life. They feel like there's no reason, you have nothing to live for. And so I want to talk to those individuals. I want to talk to those individuals on today. So if you know someone who is who's ready to give up on life, like who's ready to end it all, like right now, because they cannot find value in their existence. They find no value. They feel like they're not worthy to live, or life is just too hard, to keep going. And so I want you to share this video with anyone that you know who might be in this space. You can never judge a book by its cover. And so, because when people are in that space, being in that space, wanting to give up, there's not an image that goes with that. You're looking at me on March 20th of this year. I was in that space where I wanted to end life. I had gone to bed on Sunday, March 19th. I had gone to bed that night, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. And I woke up Monday morning, and I just kept crying. And, I work from home, and I kept crying, and I was not in a space to log into work to help anybody because of the space that I was in. I continued to cry. I am licensed to carry, and I had thoughts like, I've got my gun, I can just use it, like me. And so when I say that wanting to end your life, it's not an image. We tend to think that only people who may be poor, people who are homeless. No, you can't look at somebody and determine whether or not if they've contemplated, ending their life. And so I just want to bring awareness, and for those that are in that space today, I just want to encourage you that I don't know you, I don't know your name, but I want you to know that I know that you exist. I know that you exist. And not only do you exist, but you matter. And so in spite of how hard it is, and I know it's hard, I know it's hard. I'm not here to make light of your situation. I'm not here to not even really to change your mind, but I just want to give you a different perspective. I just want to give you a different perspective. Again, I was in the spot that you're in right now. I was in that spot March 20th, not March 20th, 2024. I was in that spot March 20th, 2025. And I wanted to end it all because I just had so much to just come at me. I've had loss after loss after loss after loss. And I just felt like I couldn't catch a break. I couldn't catch a break. And it was to the point where I just wasn't motivated to do anything. I mean, I literally cried myself to sleep on Sunday night. And I woke up Monday morning and I kept crying. I kept crying so that it was impossible. I was not even in a space to log into work because of the space that I was in, and I just kept crying, and I managed to get up. I reached out to my therapist, and I've never requested a same day appointment. I never did. I've never done that before. But on that day, I text my therapist, hey, do you have a same day? Do you have anything available today? And thank God that she did. And she was able to get me in. And so I wasn't motivated. I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to stay in the bed. Excuse me. I wanted to stay in the bed and I wanted to cry. And I wanted to cry all day because I've had so many losses. I didn't see a point. Of why live? Why wake up another day in pain and misery and having to, deal with and process the many losses that I've had back to back, but I was able to schedule. I was able to get a same day appointment with my therapist. I managed to get up and go to the gym. I am a workout. I work out a lot. I try to work out at least 5 days a week as a 11-year cancer survivor on the vocal cord. And so I was like, well, okay, I'm just going to get up. I put some clothes on. I wasn't even the same. Like normally when I'm working out, I'm listening to some crunk music that's going to get me through. Not that day. I just went through the motion. I did it. It was good that I, got out. It was sunny that day. It was good that I did all of that. I went through the motion and I came back home and I felt like what you see on this camera, like right now, on this video right now, this is not how I looked. I looked so horrible. I looked so horrible. I couldn't even stand to look at myself. And on that day, actually, that was before I actually had got my hair locked. And so anyhow, I called my session started with my therapist. It was about 1 and it was like 2 o'clock. And I was just crying, and I cried during the entire therapy session. I didn't like the way that I look. You guys. I did not like the way that I looked at all. And so I just felt defeated. I was embarrassed. I was humiliated by the things that I've gone through and still going through, And so I completed my therapy session, and, I was glad that I was able to talk to my therapist. And of course, I got a different perspective, with her. And so I was going to order some groceries and have them delivered to my home. But instead, I knew that I needed to get out. I needed to get out of the house. And so instead of ordering groceries and having them delivered to my home, I made a list. I requested an Uber, and I caught an Uber to the store, just to get out. And doing that shifted my mood a lot. And so when I came back home, I was not in that same space. I wasn't in that same space. And so when I woke up next morning on Tuesday morning for work, and as I was praying, in my home, and I heard these words, and these words that I heard was like an anchor. It was like an anchor, and I needed to hear those words. And the words that I heard was, there is life after this. Those simple words, there is life after this. Those 5 simple words gave me the breakthrough that I needed. And when I heard those words, and when I say I heard those words, I didn't hear those words from, I didn't hear anybody on a video, nobody preaching a sermon. These are words that I heard, the God that I serve. I heard him tell me, there is a life after this. And those words began to encourage me. They began to encourage me. And I have not, my situation hasn't changed, but those words gave, those words were like an anchor. It was like a lifeline. Those words were like a lifeline to me. And so I'm still going through the same stuff. My situation hasn't changed, but I see my situation differently compared to the day that I saw my situation on March the 20th, 2025. And so fast forward, again, I've had loss after loss, and I don't want to go into too many details because I don't want to get names, but when I have children, and the last of my children graduated high school on last week. And so when you have children, you have this image, you have this idea of what, how you're going to celebrate, especially when it's the last, last of your children to graduate. And so I did not have the opportunity to experience any of that. I did not experience any of that, and so I woke up Thursday morning, last Thursday, and I felt defeated. I felt empty. I felt numb. I wasn't in that same space that I was in on March 20th, 2025, but I felt empty, and I still felt defeated. From my therapist said that I was still in a state of shock, that I was still numb, and I haven't cried at all, but that was just the initial response to what I had, experienced on last week. And so, I managed to work, because I work from home. I managed to, to complete my shift at work. I had a therapy session on that Thursday. I have weekly therapy sessions, okay? And so I logged out from work. I was just emotionally drained, physically drained. I had absolutely nothing to give. On that day, I did not go to the gym because I had nothing to give. And so I was just drained. And so I woke up Friday morning. I was off Friday morning. I felt empty. I took Friday, I had Friday off, and I felt empty because this is not the space that I imagined that I would be on after having, to have, high school graduates. And so I wasn't expecting to be in that space. It should have been a moment of rejoicing and a moment of celebration. I wasn't there. And so I was getting ready to I can go exercise and I can go this and I can do that on my day off, but instead I did it. I laid in the bed, and it was like, no, it's okay. I don't have to. It's okay to not always doing something. And I'm so glad that I did that. And so I laid in bed, and I don't want to say out of nowhere, but then it was just like the idea just literally dropped in my lap, go and file a DBA for the name of my YouTube channel, Sarah Be Too Good. And that's exactly what I did. And so I took the pain me being in the middle of pain after having loss after loss after loss after loss. I took that, and I guess you can say spin the block on it, and I made something positive come out of a very negative, dark situation that I was in. And so again, my situation hasn't changed, but it just changed my perspective. And, you know, from that, I created this channel, my YouTube channel. And so this is my second video. Was nervous, but I wanted to share my story to encourage someone else who's at that space, who want to give up, who feels like I ain't got no reason to live. Like, live for what? I've lost. And so I want to encourage you that you do matter. You do matter. You do matter. And I want to encourage you to get a therapist. If you do not already have a therapist, I want to encourage you to get a therapist. There are different, you'll be surprised of the different, you'll be surprised of the assistance, financial assistance that may be available to you, you know. And so do not allow money or the lack thereof to stop you from getting therapy. And so, you know, I want to encourage you to get a therapist. And third of all, I want you to, in spite of the situation that you're in, and I'm not making light of where you are. I'm not making light of where you are at all, you know, because where you are, how you feel, those are your feelings, and every last one of your feelings are valid. But I just want to encourage you to just wait. I want to encourage you to find the positive of that situation that you're in, you know. And I know you may be thinking, well, I can't find nothing positive. Yeah, you can. I'm created this video. I've created a YouTube channel. This is my second video, and I was scared as I don't know what. I was supposed to make this video on Saturday, but I was scared. Then I said I was going to do it on Sunday. I was scared. I was going to do it yesterday. I was scared, and I used the excuse. I used the weather for the excuse. And I was like, okay, today I'm going to do it. I'm going to just do it today, you know. And so I want you to find some positive out of your situation, you know. Find some positive. There's always positive. There is always some positive in spite of a negative situation that you're in. I know that for a fact. Not only that, not only do I know that for a fact, but I've taken my grief, I've taken my pain, I've taken my loss, back-to-back losses, and I am working, you know, completing my second manuscript. And so that's what I mean by taking the positive, finding the positive in the middle of the negative situation that you're in. I'm not negating. I'm not saying the situation that you're in, that it's not that bad. I'm not saying that at all. I know where you are. I know it's bad. All I'm asking you to do is just find the positive. Find the positive in where you are, you know. Find the positive in the situation that you're currently facing right now. And so that's what I have for you. I wanted to, I made some notes. I didn't want to read from notes. I wanted to share from my heart. I wanted to share directly from my heart. I wanted to share directly from my experience. I will not edit this video. Number one, I don't know how to edit the video, but I wanted to come and show up authentically as possible. And so, again, I pray that this video has been helpful to someone, but you have a lot to live for. Do not make and this is the fourth thing, do not make a permanent decision such as to end your life based on a temporary situation. The situation that you're in right now, that's temporary. That's temporary. You have no idea what you're going to wake up to tomorrow. You have no idea how your situation could change on Sunday. You have no idea. You have no idea who you could possibly meet on tomorrow to change your entire life. And because of that is why I'm encouraging you to not make a permanent decision to end your life based on a temporary situation. My situation that I'm currently going through is temporary. It's temporary. Whatever you're facing right now is temporary. It's not going to last. Summer is not summer all year round. Fall is not all year round. Spring and winter, those seasons are not all year round. And just as, the summer, spring, summer, and fall have their place, then the situation that you're currently facing is not going to last. It's not going to last. It's not going to last. I remember, I'm an 11-year cancer survivor, and I remember when I was going through, radiation treatment back then, it seemed like forever, but it didn't last. It didn't last, and so that moment did pass. Since that moment, what have I accomplished since then? I wrote my first book, Survivor Once, Survivor for Life. Survivor Once, Survivor for Life. And you can purchase the book, Survivor Once, Survivor for Life.com. And so I'm only sharing that with you, just to encourage you that your situation that you're in is not going to last. It's not going to last. And so I pray that what I have shared today has encouraged someone who's at that space, who's ready to give it up, who's ready to end their life today. I pray that I have encouraged you to not to make a permanent decision based on a temporary situation. The situation that you're in right now, it's not going to last forever. It's not going to last forever. You do matter. You do matter to me. You do matter to me. Again, if you know anyone that's currently in this situation, who may have had loss, who may have had back-to-back loss, share with them. Don't judge people based on their appearance, because looking at me, I don't look like that I would have those thoughts. And so for that reason, don't, judge anyone. Don't prejudge who you think may be in that space. If you know someone who's been going through, and they've just been going through a hard time, regardless to what they look like, regardless to how much money they have, regardless to all of that, share this video. Again, you guys, like, share, and subscribe. If this video has been helpful to you, please share in the comments and let me know. And I will show up on Saturday. Scared or not, I will show up on Saturday. And so, my brothers and sisters, I don't know you. I don't know your name. But I want you to know that I love you. You do matter. Your feelings are valid. And you do matter. And there is life after this. Be blessed.